Hi, beautiful fruity cutie. What's up? My name is Jeanette, also known as Ms.FitVegan, and I'm really excited for this video because I've been practicing this method of eating raw for a very long time now, and I want to share my 21 help foods that have helped me stay raw. Now, let me just tell you how I came up with this, okay? So, for 6 years, from 2011 until 2017, I was a perfect raw vegan. Like, no quotations needed. I was perfect. Okay, I didn't eat anything cooked, anything. I didn't eat anything above 118 degrees. I ate almost everything organic unless I absolutely couldn't get it. I was perfect. I barely had any frozen fruit. I barely, like, when I found out that, some of these things on this list were not raw, I stopped eating them, cashews and cacao and maple syrup and all that stuff. Let me tell you something right now. I drove myself insane. I was miserable and I was just contemplating getting off the raw food diet in 2017. And I broke down. I had like a breakdown pretty much because I was perfect, but it wasn't enough. I was struggling. I had some major teeth issues, which I've talked about many times in the past. I was having teeth pain and I was not happy. Most of all, I was just not happy because I was just limiting myself on what I could eat and what I couldn't eat. And what happened was is that I was really craving other foods. I was craving processed foods. I was craving pasta and bread and things like that. And I was not happy on a raw food diet. And then I decided I cannot live like this. I need to find a way to eat a raw food diet that is enjoyable, is flexible, is sustainable, and will last me a lifetime. So that's when I started adding in. I gave up the perfection mindset in 2017, and this is when I started adding in these foods. So I created a PDF, a free PDF for you below. So you can click below to download my help foods. Because, of course, there's two types of foods in the world: help foods and health foods, okay, in the raw food diet, okay? So most raw vegans that you know, that you love, we're not going to name names, but they all use these help foods. None of these foods are raw, but they help you stay raw. So they're part of a raw food diet. And you need to understand that. You need to understand that nobody's 100% raw. Nobody. But there's people that are 100% healthy because they use these foods. So here we go. You ready? And these foods are things that I don't eat every day, but I eat them when I want to. So number one is, sorry, I just noticed there's like a bunch of guys on a balcony looking at something. I hope they're not looking at me. I don't know what they're looking at. Okay, they're not looking at me. Um, Probably not. Here we go. Number one, nutritional yeast. Okay, nutritional yeast is always heated. It is not raw, and it is something that a lot of raw vegans use to satisfy their, savory cravings, cheesy cravings, things like that. So I definitely eat it. I don't have it in the house at the moment, but if it's at a restaurant or somebody's making something for me, I will eat it. Nutritional yeast is definitely not raw, but it definitely can be part of the raw food diet and help you stay raw, especially when you're craving cheese. I used to make this nacho cheese sauce. It's so good. Cashews, they're coming up on the list too. Cashews, nutritional yeast, red pepper, garlic, lemon in the blender, blend it up. My God, it's so good. It's like nacho cheese. Put that on kale chips, put that on a salad as a dressing, just dip veggies in that. It's so freaking good. Number two, very popular among raw vegans, it's maple syrup. Mm-mm-mm. Maple syrup is absolutely not raw. It can't be raw. It's boiled to concentrate the sap. And so, therefore, it can never be raw. There's no such thing as raw maple syrup. It's a highly processed food, but it is a help food that will absolutely help you stay healthy. You have to understand, if you're drinking gallons of maple syrup every day, you can't be healthy. But if you're eating a little bit of maple syrup in a raw vegan brownie or on top of your nice cream or inside of a dressing. Like, I'm making dressing all the time with maple syrup. I do mustard, tahini, and maple syrup. Excuse me. And so, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I know many of your favorite raw vegans use maple syrup, and the reason is because you cannot be perfect. And when you try to be perfect, you fail. And a lot of my fruity cuties in my community, they understand this, that you don't need to be perfect to get results, to heal, to lose weight. You don't. You can enjoy your food. And so maple syrup really helps you enjoy your food. Number 3 is cacao. Cacao is not raw. It's not, unless you get a raw cacao fruit and then you open it up and then there's raw cacao beans, but like who's getting that? Barely anybody. And it's often like processed and roasted or fermented at very, very high temperatures. It's roasted usually at high temperatures, even raw cacao. Okay, so please be aware of that. Cashews is another one. Number 4 is cashews. Cashews are always heat treated to remove the toxins. There's a toxin called urushiol. URUSHIOL. That toxin must be heated. It must be heated, the cashews. Okay. Look up urushiol. It's a toxin found on cashews that are raw. You can die from eating raw cashews. Like nobody in the history of cashews is eating raw cashews. Nobody. So I just want you to know that cashews cannot be raw, but that's okay because they help you stay raw. So if you have some cashews, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody can just, and I'm telling you right now, nobody, except maybe Ann Osborne. But I don't know. Like, I don't live with her, so I don't know if she's lying or not. But like, nobody can just eat fruit and vegetables. You need something sometimes. You need some cashews. You need some maple syrup. You need some nutritional yeast, okay? And trust me, you'll get all the results. Do not worry. Number 5 is frozen fruit. Oh my God. I was a crazy one back in the day. So like, so crazy. I was, always like learning and watching YouTube and studying. And one day I found out that frozen fruit is probably not raw because it's blanched. And before they put it into the bag at the plant where they process the frozen fruit, so they pick it and they blanch it, so they heat it, and then they put it in the bag to sell it so that it won't have freezer burn. And it's like I was freaking out and I was like, oh my God, I can't eat frozen fruit anymore. And it was piling up all the things that I couldn't eat. And by 2017, I had like a nervous breakdown. And instead, here's what I did. Take note, Fruity Cutie. Instead of leaving the raw food diet and going back to processed foods and dead animal body parts, I said, okay, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to find a better way to do raw. I'm going to be a little more flexible, more sustainable. I'm going to be a little more lenient and just open to eating some things that might not be considered raw, but they're going to help me stay raw. And I want to inspire you to do this too. Okay. This changed my life. All right. So the frozen fruit, typically they're blanched or heated before freezing. So they remove the ability to have freezer burn. Okay. Things like that. Okay. Number 6 is frozen vegetables. Same thing. They're usually blanched. Number 7 is coconut aminos. Coconut aminos is great if you're craving salt, okay? This is made by fermenting coconut sap and then heat processing it so it's not raw. Another thing to help with the salty cravings is dulse or any type of seaweed or celery, lemon and lime. All of these things are great for salty cravings, okay? I also recommend another help food that I don't think is on this list is salt. Himalayan pink salt or sea salt, if you want to put that on your raw food, do it, boo. Do it. Oh, by the way, oh, my followers are amazing. A few people saw the cross behind me. Like, let me move so y'all can see it better. Y'all, I love my community so much because everybody in my community sees things like the good in everything. And y'all saw that cross and I was like, oh my God, somebody saw it. I didn't see it before you pointed it out. So I wanted to say, you guys are amazing. So let's make sure the cross shows. Okay, I love it. Here we go. So coconut aminos, not raw, but definitely a help food to help you stay raw. Very similar to like soy sauce, Okay, tamari or low sodium soy sauce. It's made by fermenting soybeans. Okay, definitely pasteurized and heated as well. Date syrup or date paste. Date syrup or date paste, not raw. I hate to do this to you, but sorry, the sun is going in and out, so the light might be changing. But the cross is still there. We always being protected and watched, let me tell you. Okay, listen, the date syrup or the date paste, and most dates are steamed, not raw. I know. You see, if they have raw date syrup sitting on a shelf for 2 years, like it's going to go rancid. It's going to go moldy. You can't have things sitting on a shelf in a factory in Amazon's warehouse and just like stay fresh. Like that doesn't make sense. So please understand that everything you buy in a bottle or a bag or a package is not raw, but it's okay because it will help you stay raw. And you don't eat date syrup all day. You just have a little bit on your nice cream or whatever. So it's going to be okay, boo. Number 10 is agave syrup. Okay, so this is absolutely not raw, no such thing. And the FDA does not regulate the word raw. So you can write raw on any single thing. You can write healthy, you can write natural, and you can write the word raw according to the FDA on anything. It doesn't have to be raw. So like you can find something that says raw agave and it's not raw. Agave is it's coming from the agave plant and it's processed with heat to produce the syrup. And yeah, I'm sorry to bust your bubble here. I'm sorry about that. Dried fruit like raisins and mangoes and cranberries. It's not dried in the sun. I'm sorry. I know. It involves heat. And just be careful because some of them, but they help you stay raw. It's fine. But some of them, they are treated with sulfur, okay, to make them last longer. I have a theory that all dried fruit is treated with something and they don't always have to say what that is. So be aware of that and just eat them in, moderation, okay? Or like in abundance if you're going to eat a cheeseburger. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to eat a cheeseburger, then just eat a whole bag of dried mulberries instead or dried mangoes instead. But if you can help it, maybe get some fresh fruit and vegetables. That would be better. Almond butter. Okay, almonds used for almond butter usually are roasted at high temperatures. I know it says raw, but it's not. I'm telling you this from experience. I've worked in the food and beverage industry for since 2012. There's a lot of lies going on in the food industry. It's all about production and saving cost and money, and it's all about making money. It's not about your health, and it can say raw, but it's not raw. I'm just putting that out there. The nuts can say raw. Cashews, every fucking time. Every time you buy a bag of cashews that say raw, it's not raw. Like, it's not possible. So I'm sorry about that. Sun-dried tomatoes, they are sometimes dried in the sun, but usually not. Usually not. They are not raw. Granola from the store, like Elizabeth's Gone Raw granola and things like that. Granola that looks raw and seems raw and even says raw. It's not. It's not raw. It's usually toasted or roasted or processed in some way because if something is raw, it goes bad really, really quickly. The only thing that's truly actually raw is your fruit and vegetables. Just be aware of that. Okay, pickles. I know a lot of raw vegans that eat pickles. I do. I eat pickles sometimes. Why not? They are not raw and usually heated to, they're pasteurized. Anything that's pasteurized that can last a year, 2 years, it's not raw. Next, we have cold press oils like olive oil or avocado oil. Okay, so they are definitely not raw. They undergo some type of processing or filtration, and it's usually with heat because heat kills the bacteria that's going to make it go bad. So just be aware of that. The raw wraps and stuff like that, raw wraps that you find on Amazon, these are also great help foods that are usually not raw, even though they say raw, because they're usually made with heat, and heat again makes things last longer. It kills the bad and good bacteria. So it kills the live enzymes as well. It kills the nutrition, but it helps you stay raw. Because remember, what I like to teach my fruity cuties is it's what you don't eat that heals you. So if you're eating a wrap that is not technically raw, it's way better than eating a really shitty bag of potato chips that contains lots of salt and oil and GMO potatoes, and you're never going to heal eating that, but you can absolutely heal eating a wrap that is not raw. So I eat raw wraps, absolutely. I eat wraps that are clearly not raw, or nuts that are not raw, almond butter that's not. I eat all this stuff and I've been successful, and I'm telling you right now, I hate to say this, but the truth is that this is the only way that you're going to stay raw, is to just relax a little bit. because I tried. I was a perfect raw vegan for 6 years. It didn't get me anywhere. I didn't look as good as I look now. I didn't have the health that I have now. My skin is way better. My everything's better. Everything is better. And I mean, the only thing that I had was my pride and my ego. And I had to say, you know what? It's not worth it because, okay, maybe I'm not 100% raw now because of these things, but at least now I'm 100% able to be raw for the rest of my life. I was miserable. I was crying. All I could eat was fruit and vegetables. And could I even eat that? Because sometimes, I saw, people making videos how mangoes are heat treated and the mangosteen is irradiated before it comes in the country and the durian is radiated and the dude, you're gonna drive yourself insane and you're gonna go back to Taco Bell. What is the point? Finally, the last thing that I eat oh no, wait, there's something else that I missed. Oh, apple cider vinegar. I'll leave the PDF below. There's going to be all of them on there. But apple cider vinegar is definitely not raw. It's usually pasteurized. Even the raw apple cider vinegar is not raw. I'm sorry. That's just doesn't, if it sits on a shelf, it's not raw. Mustard. It always is heat treated so that it could stay on the shelf and not go bad. I hate to do that to you. Sorry. There are some other ones that might be raw, might not be raw. Hemp seeds. Okay. They might be subjected to heat during the harvesting or packaging process. I definitely think they are. Everything in a package needs to be pasteurized so it doesn't mold and start to go bad. Okay. All the raw chocolates, no, not raw. Coconut flour and all these other flours, oat flour, almond flour, not raw. Not. They're going to, in a week, it's going to get moldy if it's raw. Okay. Um, and oats, definitely not raw as well. Okay. What's the point of this? The point of this is to help you understand that there's a way to do the raw food diet that will help you to totally get the body of your dreams, to get the skin and the hair and the life of your dreams, the energy of your dreams, everything you want. But you're going to have to know how to do the raw food diet. And so if you'd like me to be your coach, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I'm starting a brand new food addiction freedom course starting March 1st. That's in a few weeks, and I'm really excited. I have 6 women that have already signed up. That means I have 4 spots left. So if you're a woman looking to lose weight, and or heal naturally with a raw food diet and you want me to be your coach one-on-one for 6 full weeks, I'm really excited about it because this is like the best course I've ever been a part of. And at the end of the course, you get paired up with an accountability partner for life. And so you and her will be friends for life. It's women only. So if you're interested, I'll leave the information below. And yeah, let me know some other help foods that are not technically raw, but they help you stay healthy. And yeah, my best advice to somebody looking to be raw is to just let your ego, like, leave your ego behind, because I think the only reason that I was stopping myself from, enjoying the raw food diet was because I was like, no, I cannot have anything that's not raw. I cannot have anything that's not organic. I have to be perfect. If I'm not perfect, then I'm worth nothing. And this, I can't do it. It's 0 or 100. It's either everything's raw or I'm eating bagels, and it's just like, that was my ego talking. The only way that me, 15 years strong, 15 years raw, can enjoy this thing is if I am a little bit more relaxed on what I eat and what I don't eat. Everything here on this list, this is like the most unhealthy things I eat personally. And I think that's pretty good. I think I'm doing pretty good. And you have to reevaluate your priorities. Do you want to just be raw, or do you want to be healthy? That's what I had to say at the end of the day, because I was not healthy as a raw vegan, just like being so strict, and I was miserable, and being miserable is not healthy. No way. So that's why I opened myself up to eating frozen fruit, to eating roasted almonds. People, I've heard the most ridiculous things in the last 15 years. One time, it's just like, it's always the people that are not eating healthy that always want to question you. And so let me tell you this story real quick and then we'll go. So I was shopping at a store, and I hope he sees this. I was shopping at a store once, and the cashier was like, wow, you're buying a lot of produce. Are you raw? Are you a raw vegan by any chance? And I was like, oh yeah, I actually am. And he goes, oh wow, so how long you been raw? I said 14 years, because this was last year. And then he said, oh, so you've never eaten a like a roasted pistachio in 14 years? And I told him, I was like, oh, yeah, of course I have. I'm sure I have. He goes, oh, so you're not raw. And I was like, I guess not. Later in the conversation, I found out that he was raw for like a few weeks. Then he went back to eating meat. Then he's eating shit. He's eating this. He's eating that. It's always those people that are trying to put judgment on healthy people. Trust me, boo. I'm the rawest, healthiest person on earth. It's been 15 years since I ate a dead animal's body part or any processed, unhealthy food. This list is the unhealthiest food I eat. I'm okay with it. If you're not okay with it, then do you, boo. Keep being on the hamster wheel, going up and down and up and down and on and off and falling off and getting back on. Because let me tell you something right now. The reason I created this list of help foods, okay, is because I was tired of feeling like a failure. I was tired of starting and stopping. I was tired of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining it back, gaining more back, having to start again. Tired of it. And so I developed a system that includes these help foods to help me stay raw for life. So I never have to worry about my weight. I never have to worry about a food addiction, craving processed foods, having, like just cheat days. I don't ever cheat myself. I treat myself to the most amazing, delicious food on this planet. I don't fool myself. I fuel myself. I almost had it, but I fucked it up. Okay, guys, do me a favor. Stop the shit. Stop the shit. Okay, if somebody's judging you for eating a roasted pistachio, they could suck a cucumber. You know what I'm saying? I love you, boo. I'll see you in the next episode. And don't forget, if you want to be part of the course, the link will be below. I have 4 spots left, and I'll see you there. Bye.